Hey, welcome to the next installment of Theology Tuesdays. My name's Nathan. I'm youth pastor here at IKON Youth. We've just finished an incredible Friday night. So here's the question that we're going to talk about today. What is the Bible? Well, the Bible is the #1 best-selling book of all time. But that kind of doesn't do it justice, because actually it's 66 different books written by 40 different authors across a time span of around 2,000 years. And the Bible is broken up into two sections. You've got the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament is before Jesus, and New Testament is Jesus's life and beyond that. The Bible tells one unifying story, so 66 different books, 40 different authors with one overarching story. That story starts in Genesis when God makes mankind in His image. The problem is that humans made the choice in that moment to eat of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And so at that moment, sin enters the world, wrong enters the world, violence enters the world, selfishness, etc. All of that enters the world, and then all of a sudden there's this power struggle. And the Old Testament, the rest of the Old Testament is a story of God trying to redeem His people back to Him. But also there's a promise in the Old Testament of a coming Messiah. The Old Testament kind of finishes, and for many years, hundreds of years actually, nothing is recorded until Jesus enters the world. Jesus comes and proclaims things like He's the way, the truth, and the life. He's the Messiah. He's the one who's come to save. The problem is this, that Israel, the people of God, had thought He would come in power, overthrow rulers and government, and overthrow everyone with violence. But Jesus came with love and forgiveness and grace. And He calls us to live the same life. Ultimately, there needed to be a sacrifice for our relationship with God to get right. And Jesus was that sacrifice. On the cross, He died a death. And John 3:16 tells us, "For God so loved the world that He sent His one and only Son for each and every one of us." He rose again, and then He had His followers, His disciples, who He said, take this good news message, this message that Jesus loves them, that Jesus forgives you, that Jesus is for you, take it to the whole world. And we get that choice today to accept either that message or the message of the world. And so the disciples took that message, and that message spread throughout the whole world. And it came about through the church. We're here today because that message went ahead. And so there in essence is the New Testament. It's stories of the church being built. It's stories and letters being sent to the church. And then it finishes with this kind of view of the future in Revelation. This view of heaven and earth uniting. Heaven and earth coming together in this one place. So that's the Bible in a nutshell. 66 different books, 40 different authors, written over a time span of nearly 2,000 years, and yet one unifying story of a God who loves us and who's for us. So what is the Bible? That is the Bible. Hey, why don't you consider subscribing, hit like, let's get this message out, and we look forward to seeing you in the future of IKON Youth. And is Joel stood behind me? No, he's not.